Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to actually do my January and February favourites because it's time for that video. So I have them all here in a basket next to me. There's quite a few favourites and there's a couple of things that I'm on the fence about, so I will obviously explain those as we go along, but I'm going to start off with my favourite products, and if you are interested then just keep watching. So these things are in no particular order as well because I don't do them like that, but I have here the Simple Kind to Skin Micellar Cleansing Water. I bought this just because this one was actually on sale and a little bit more available than my Nivea one last time I went to get a micellar water. I don't quite know if I like this as much as the Nivea one. I pretty much just use micellar water to dissolve my makeup. So they both actually dissolve my makeup just as nice as each other. They both leave my face feeling a little bit refreshed and everything, but like if I am really super sweaty or really hot and or oily or something, I don't freshen up my face with micellar water. I use my makeup wipes for that, or I just wash my face. So micellar water I just use as makeup remover, so this one dissolves my makeup just as nicely as my Nivea one. I have noticed my eyes haven't been as dry when I've been using this one. I think my Nivea one dries my eyes out a little bit more, but this is nice and gentle. It just dissolves everything beautifully. Even my most matte foundations, it's dissolved them really nicely, and I would buy it again. I finally tried my, what brand is this? Lee Tan Uber Dark Self Tanning Foam. Now I purchased this because my lotion one I couldn't find. I think this is in a haul, but I purchased this like months ago and then never got around to trying it, and I thought last week, finally, it's summer, it's the middle of summer, it's really hot, and I have so many foundations and things that are just too dark, and I thought it's there, I haven't used it before, and I will try this. I love it. I still have to fiddle around with how to get like my knees and my elbows looking perfect and stuff. I had a bit of a disaster with under my arms here looking really horrendous, so I still have to figure that out a little bit. But oh my gosh, I would very much repurchase this tomorrow if I lost it or something. This is, I bought the green base one. They also do have a violet base and an ash base, but I bought the green one just because I like that little bit of an olive tone. I find it prevents me from looking orange. The ash base I just don't like. It's a little bit too cool toned for what I use. My makeup does not match that whatsoever. And the violet base, I don't know, it just says that if I tan in the sun naturally, I don't tan easily or naturally. It says the green base is good for an all-rounder, which I like. My makeup and my foundations match this one a little bit easier. The lotion one that I used to use from Lee Tan, you still had to develop it and rinse it off. That one, when I rinsed off like pure green. This one actually comes off like, it looks like blood rinsing off me. So this one has enough of that red tone to it to where I actually look bronzed. I realise now that my other tan sometimes actually made me look green, but this is so easy to apply. It is so quick. It dries so quickly. This I left on, I do 2 layers all the time just because then that way it develops better. But I do 2 layers and I left this on for 3.5 hours the other day, and it was amazing. It honestly went so much darker. Like, I'm talking like twice as dark as what my Lee Tan lotion one was. This has faded a little bit, and this is still darker than what I was with the lotion at its absolute best. This develops so dark so quickly. It dries down nicely and it looks really nice, and it's easy to apply and everything. So I really like this. I would definitely repurchase it again. This is dirty because I just used it, but I have the Ecotools makeup sponge. This is just the big one. I haven't used the little one yet. I bought these ones for once instead of using my Chi Chi ones just because I thought I have a little bit more money now. I thought I will try them. I would like to try better sponges. So it was either these or the Real Techniques ones. The Real Techniques ones I will try next. The shape of this I really had to try and get used to because particularly just for concealer. For foundation it was fine, but for my concealer under my eyes and everything, I really almost could not use this, the shape that it was. It would blend it all really weird in my inner corner and like around here and stuff. So I had to get used to the shape, but I love this now. I love this sponge. It just makes my foundation look amazing. It just makes everything look so smooth and flawless. I mean, my Chi Chi sponges work, but there's something just even better about this. It's slightly more dense than what the Chi Chi ones are, so it is different. I like the sponge itself. I do wish it was more like your Beauty Blender shape, because it is a little bit more difficult with this, but at the same time it's good to get around the nose, and it's that straight line's good for if you bake or something like that. But I love the sponge itself, and I actually really do like it. And the small one is still big enough. I reckon I could use it for foundation. It might take me a little bit longer and annoy me a little bit more, but I still reckon I could use it for actual foundation. Oh, shadow, sorry. So yeah, I like it. It's 20 bucks I think for a 2-pack, so not bad. Also, it does clean very easy, it dries very easy, and I don't have to like scrub it or anything like that. I have here the E.l.f. highlighter. I don't know what type of highlighter this was called, but if you're looking for the actual highlighter, check out my first impressions video that I just uploaded. But this is the E.l.f. highlighter in white gold. This is a lot more of a drier formula than what I am used to. This is not powdery whatsoever. I really have to swirl my brush in here in order to get a lot of product up on my brush. But this is a lot more intense. It's a lot more, a little bit more chunky and everything than my Mecca Maxima one. So some people would say, why would you buy it in the white gold shade when you got your Mecca Maxima one? But this is just different. The formula is different. The color is slightly different. So it is obviously different. But it is a lot of it's a lot more of a drier formula. Even touching it, it looks like it's going to be super creamy, and it's not. So I do really have to dig my brush in with this, but other than that, this is amazing. So there's the swatch. But it just makes my face really nice and glowy, beautiful. I have to make sure though my foundation is set with this one, otherwise it'll kind of cling it really weird. But beautiful highlighter for 10 bucks, I mean, I can't go wrong. Also, since I have been self-tanning and I am very dark, like borderline have to buy a different darker foundation again, type of dark, I have been loving using my darker highlighter colours. These ones I pretty much can only use on my eyes when I'm fair, or I have to mix it in with like my white highlighters, which then to me is kind of pointless because I have to mix in so much of my white highlighters. But when I'm at my absolute darkest, this Maybelline Molten Gold highlighter is absolutely insane, beautiful. Love it. This is also one of the best highlighters as well to use on your eyes. Like, I really want to do a tutorial one day using this on my eyes. I might have already, but it's like literally the best. It's called Molten Gold and it literally just looks like liquid gold on your eyes. And then I can also use Champagne Pop from Becca, which is a little bit more pale, but both of these are still quite intense highlighters. And so I actually rediscovered my Lacura Glamour Goddess. This is a Mosaic Baked Blush Bronzer, but it's a highlighter, in the shade Sun Princess. This is the highlighter that I'm wearing today. The glow that's on my face is 100% this, and this is very similar to like your Hourglass ambient lighting powders. And for some reason, even when I'm still at this absolute darkest tan, that dim light shade does not want to work for me. It just goes straight up orange. But I discovered this late, it was shoved to the back of my drawer, and I found it this morning as well. And so I've been using this again. This one again I only kind of discovered again today, but I just thought I'd chuck it in there. I can now use my darker highlighters, which is another reason why I just thought I would self-tan. I have here a mascara combo that is really nice. Sometimes, some days, it turns out absolutely horrible, but most days it's amazing. So I've actually taken to curling my lashes, so I will very gently curl my lashes and apply the Maybelline Colossal Volume Express Smoky Eyes Mascara. This one will give your lashes that natural, very fluffy, voluminous look, so it'll make them look very just hair, like your hairy lashes, but like darker, if that makes sense. And then I will go in and thicken it up with the Benefit Bad Girl Bang Mascara, and oh my god, this will just thicken up the Maybelline one, lengthen it, and just, it looks voluminous, it looks dark, it looks lengthening, it looks really nice. I use the Benefit one on my lower lashes. This is just a mini. Only downside to this is I'm pretty sure I only opened this just before Christmas, and I'm pretty sure this is starting to dry up already. But very nice combo. Don't know if it's my absolute favourite combo, but at the moment it's really nice. I have here the Colourpop Baby Don't Peach palette. This is the one that I tried in my first impression, and I am in love. The only thing about these 9-pan palettes, I wish we didn't have that chunky glitter thing in there, or if it was glittery, I wish it was one that we could use around the eyes. I know some people just use it anyway, but like it's way too chunky for what I would use anyway. It's almost the wrong colour for what I would use for this palette, and it's just no. Now I am going to. This is one of the most beautiful palettes I've ever had. My camera just stopped recording, guys. I'm so sorry. So I absolutely love all the shades that are in here, except for this stupid glitter. They really need to stop putting the glitters in here. Like, I understand festival makeup is like the thing these days, but I really, if I was going to use body glitter, I would not be grabbing it from an eyeshadow palette. So I would much rather have another shade in these palettes, another eyeshadow shade that I can use, rather than actual glitter. But this shade Get Even is like the most amazing, bright peach rose gold that you will ever use in your life. Wet it with MAC Fix Plus or whatever setting spray you use, and it's incredible. This shade down here, Ready or Yacht, is also amazing, but they just blend beautifully. They look nice and smooth on the eyes. I have to say, these are not as creamy as my two bigger palettes from Colourpop. I have both Kathleen Lights collaborations, the Dream Street and the Zodiac palette, and those mattes seem a little bit more heavy and creamy. These ones are a little bit lighter, but that also could be just because these shades are lighter. But beautiful, beautiful. Wish it was cardboard and not plastic, but I love the mirror that's in this. I can see why Raw Beauty Christy uses like the coconut one for her mirror when she's filming, because I love it. But these shades look beautiful on my eyes, and I cannot wait to do more tutorials with this. To go along with trying new products, I am now trying a new combo of things for my brows as well. So normally I've been using this Rimmel brow kit, which is in the shade medium brown, but I don't know if you can tell on camera, and also my hair's pulled back, but when my hair is down, because I parted in the middle, my roots have grown out to about here. I am actually going, and my hair, the red has just faded in general anyway, but because my roots have grown out so much, I can't necessarily do the dark red brow that I used to do when I had just freshly dyed my hair. So it was looking a bit strange, and I thought I'll just do a generic brown, but this kit was just looking too dark. So I thought that this was like a eyeshadow base. I forgot that I had this. I found my Anastasia Blonde Dipbrow, and it still works just fine. So I actually use this as like the cream base because it's so much lighter. I cannot use it on its own because it is too light. And then I just go in with a tiny bit of the powder from this, much less powder than what I used to use, just to set the pomade, because this can have a little bit of the glossy finish on my brows. And so I set it with just a little bit of powder from this, and we are fine. It does not budge, it does not go anywhere. The Dipbrow pomades I love anyway, it's just this shade is just too pale, but I use it like the pale base, and then we are good to go. It is just fine. I've got it on as my combo right now. Probably it might look a little bit strange because for some reason the red in my hair seems like brighter today, but I am going to get my hair done in a few weeks. There's just a few things I need to sort out first, but I also, that's why I don't want to change and go buy a new product, but that's just working for me at the moment, and I love it. Off camera, I tried the Australis Fresh and Flawless Concealer. I do also have the foundation, but I have to say I need to try the foundation out a bit more, so I am able to give you guys my full thoughts on that one. But I have been using the concealer non-stop. Very comparable to the Colourpop concealer, but a bit thicker, and also the Makeup Revolution one. So it's a little bit, it's not as thick as the Makeup Revolution, but it's not as thin as the Colourpop one. So it does have quite a flawless finish, but not as full coverage. But it still looks really, really nice. And if I do put just a little bit extra, it does cover everything up. I really like it. So you guys know the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder has been one of my favourites for years and years. It's pretty much one of the only original products I still use that I tried like 8 years ago when I first got into makeup. This concealer in particular is in the shade Ivory. It is called the Fresh and Flawless Conceal and Contour because they obviously have darker shades where you're designed to like contour and bronze and things like that. I just use it for concealer, but it looks really nice under my eyes. It doesn't look too thick and chunky. It sets down nicely, doesn't emphasize the texture I have under my eyes. It does cover very nicely. The shade's pale enough to where once I set it and it darkens, it's still brightening. I do use it down the center of my face and it does look nice there as well. It comes just with a little bit of a doe foot applicator, and yeah, so the shade Ivory is the lightest, and I have to say this packaging feels a little bit more weighty and a little bit nicer than what Australis products normally do. Foundation here that I can give you my thoughts on is the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Oil Free Foundation. Again, I tried this in my, what's it called, first impression video. I tried it a second time and I still have a little bit left. I may need to get another couple of samples just to figure out my shade. Also, I'd like to be colour matched to a darker shade if I decide to buy it later. But I love this. It doesn't last particularly long on my skin. So I can't put it on and be like, oh, I'm going to work today, and then go and do like a 7-hour shift or something. That will not work. It may last long enough for me to be able to go out for dinner with my friends. We often go out for dinner and then we'll go to the movies or we'll go bowling or something like that afterwards. It may last long enough for that. So it doesn't last extremely long on my skin. However, when I do have it on, it's just beautiful. It just has that generic creamy texture, that generic, it's called the Silk Cream Foundation, so I would expect it to be. When you just put it on the back of your hand or a palette or whatever you use, it's just that in the middle nice creamy finish, and it does look beautiful on my face. It dries down nicely. I still set everything because I'm so oily, but my powder doesn't make it look drier. It doesn't make my face look extra textured. It just settles down and looks nice and smooth. I wouldn't say completely poreless, but it does hide my pores a little bit. But it just looks smooth. It doesn't settle into all my lines. It does settle a little bit into the one on my forehead, but not that bad. It doesn't emphasize the texture of any of my breakouts or my scars. It covers them up. It doesn't make them peek through. And even when I do go oily, it doesn't wear off. So it's not like I'm going oily and then like it's wearing off my nose and it's wearing off my cheeks. It doesn't do that. It just looks really, really nice on my face. I tried this face mask because I used up my L'Oreal one that I was using and I wasn't going anywhere near a place that sold my L'Oreal ones. Aldi had these for $6.99, so I thought I'd grab one and try it. This is the Verde Purifying Clay Mask with goji berry, quinoa, vitamin A, B, C and E for normal, combination or oily complexion. This actually is really, really nice for my oily skin, considering it says for normal, combo or oily. Normally things that say all three are quite not very nice. They don't quite work for my skin, but now I'm doing this video, I can finally throw the box out. It says it's got more naturally derived ingredients, PEG free, free from mineral oil, no artificial colours, fragrances or parabens, dermatologically tested. It's formulated with quinoa, a superfood known for its high nutrient content to exfoliate and purify your complexion, as well as antioxidant-rich goji berry and blueberry to help condition the skin. Also with kaolin clay, my skin loves the kaolin clay, which is probably why it likes that L'Oreal mask so much. To help absorb impurities and cleanse the skin. It's enriched with vitamins A and C to help nourish and B and E to moisturize. So I really, really like this. Putting it on, it is like a little bit of an exfoliator. So it almost reminds me a little bit of like Sukin or the Akin brand or something, a little bit more natural. Now I did not buy this because it's supposed to be natural. I just bought this because it looked like one I would use. Now I've used this about, I want to say 6 or 7 times, so I've actually got a lot more use out of this than what I thought I would. It has that like generic natural scent, but I like it. So I don't know if you could see, but it's got like the little beads and stuff in it. So it's got the quinoa and a little bit of walnut seeds in it. So when you put it on, it's like while you're rubbing it into the skin, it's a bit exfoliating, and then it dries down like a normal clay mask and you just rinse it off, and it's gently exfoliating at the same time. I use this once a week. I use my face masks once a week. I know with oily skin I'm supposed to use them a bit more, but I cannot afford to be purchasing them that much. So I use this once a week, and I find honestly I'm not even really needing to use my exfoliator cleanser as much, because this is like removing everything, and my skin is so soft. It is absolutely amazing. It is incredible. This has sorted out the texture of my skin. I really like it. Honestly, if I go to Aldi tomorrow or something, I'm going to look for more of them. I know that they stopped selling these because it was like the 1 week sale thing like they normally do, but if I can find more of these at a different store, I'm going to buy more because I actually do really like it. The Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 06 actually does work. So yes, I was right when I said that the shade Fair 02 did not work for me because it was too pale. So I did my first Colourpop haul for my 20th birthday, and I got the shade Fair 02, and it's almost stark white on my skin, and it looked horrible. It looked dry, cakey, textured, cracking, like it almost like separated. It just looked awful. Thought I got a dud, and then after playing around with it realized I didn't, but I just did not like it, and so I decided I would give it one more shot. After watching Christy from Raw Beauty Christy, she was saying how she uses foundations that are slightly darker than her skin, because if she uses one that matches her or is too pale, then it shows all the texture on her skin. And I thought, well, maybe it's the same for my concealer. So I went and bought the shade Fair 06. Again, I was guessing, because it's only online, and from previous experience, Colourpop's colours are not exactly exact on their website. So my camera stopped recording again, but this now works for me, this shade, and I love it. So it's got about medium coverage. I only use it under my eyes because I don't really need concealer anywhere else. My foundations cover it. So if I want complete full coverage, I will use my colour corrector, but other than that, it just gives me that like high medium coverage, to where, you know, just everyday full coverage stuff, if that makes sense. So I'm not complete full glam like I am now, but I also don't have that like no makeup look on. It covers everything nicely, looks nice and smooth now. So I was right when I said that the first one didn't work for me because it was too pale. I also have here my favourite combo right now, again from Colourpop, I'm sorry guys, but I have the Lippie Stix, this one is in the shade Dream Date. So I actually have this on now alone with a little tiny bit of my NYX Maybelline gloss. So when I am dark like this, I can use this shade by itself, if I want it like a pale nude. But this one is a cream, and I love the formula. I love this shape, this like angled shape. It is really nice, super easy to use, but I really like this. The shade and the undertone's really nice. I did buy a different one with a different undertone, can't quite remember. But I also have the Lippie Pencil in the shade As If. Now this is the strangest colour. It honestly looks like eyeliner, like a nude eyeliner or even a concealer. It's super strangely like a yellow colour, like it's like a yellowy, peachy lip liner. It honestly looks like I have just drawn on my lips with like the stick concealers. But this, under most of my darker nudes, actually allows me to be able to use those shades, because I am struggling so hard to find a nice pale nude lipstick. Honestly, I'm still struggling to try and find my favourite nude lipstick. But this combo at the moment is amazing. So I'm not using this pale lip liner at the moment because it would make my lips way too pale because I'm so darkly tan, but I'm just using this on its own. But when I'm pale, this lip liner is going to really save me. I think I might save up and do another Colourpop haul soon in the next few months, because this concealer doesn't have much stuff in it, and it already came with an air bubble in it, and I can already scrape the sides, and I've only used it like 4 times, so you really don't get much in it. So it might be just to stock up on some of my favourite things, but that lip combo plus the products individually are just really nice. And I have here my Benefit Hoola bronzer. So this is a mini, and now it might take me the full the entire thing to be able to figure out if I want to repurchase it or not. I'm too dark at the moment, even tan like this, I am too dark to really be able to use it. But then again, I haven't really tried it that much. But when I'm my normal fair shade, it almost looks borderline too much. It goes borderline contour shade. So when I put it on, in my actual contours of my cheeks, it looks flat out grey, and then the outside of it, when it's blended out, it looks like a bronzer. So I do have to fiddle around with what skin tone I can be when I use it. But other than that, this just looks so smooth, it blends easy, it lasts all day, it doesn't fade, it just looks nice and smooth and airbrushed and matte, and it just blends like a dream. Honestly, it's really nice. I am kind of glad I got the mini one though, especially if I can't use this shade too much when I'm pale, which is strange because in the pan it looks almost the same as my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I love the packaging. I think these little boxes are so cute, but then again, it's the only one I own, so, and it's also a mini, so maybe if I had a few more in the full size, it might be a bit annoying. But I really like this though. The colour, I again have to figure out, but then again, I also don't have many bronzers for my in-between shades, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. So there's a few things here I have that I either don't like or I'm very on the fence about and don't know if I like it or not. The first one is this Nivea face cream. So I ran out of my normal moisturiser, which is the Simple Replenishing Rich Moisturiser. And actually I almost cannot even find that anywhere, so I've repurchased the light hydrating one. But before I got my light one, I decided to buy this. It was on sale and I thought, well, it looks like it's right up my alley, and so I will try this and use it. I know Nivea has improved a lot of their stuff over the past few years. I mean, their stuff's like Neutrogena looking now, but this is just the Daily Essentials 24-hour moisture boost plus refresh moisturizer. For normal and combo skin, protecting day cream SPF 30, which is another thing that drew me in the SPF 30 because my normal moisturizers don't. In the summer, I do also mix in a SPF 50, but sometimes it's nice just to have one with a normal SPF in it. So this is what it looks like, just a nice normal little jar. It has that generic Nivea scent, if you guys know what I mean. It gives me a little bit of PTSD from when I was sunburnt so many times. My mum used to get that thick cream of theirs that was in the blue jar. She used to smear it all over me when I was sunburnt because my mum didn't believe in aloe vera gel, and all of a sudden when I started using it, it actually worked. It was great. But that's why I bought it. SPF 30 and everything. Plumps your skin, provides long-lasting hydration, refreshes skin, and protects against sunlight. Now, I put this on, and straight away, I look like I have been greasy for 5 hours, which does not work very well when I'm either going straight to work, going out in public straight away, or, you know, if it's just a hot day and then I'm going to start and be sweating, or if I'm putting makeup on. It sits on my skin so strange. Like my two simple ones that I use, they soak into the skin and then leave my skin with this nice like texture on top, and that leaves my skin looking hydrated and plump, but it's soaked in. I feel like this doesn't actually like soak into my skin, it just sits on the top, and I go so oily so quickly with using this, which I thought with this being a bit of a thicker, richer moisturizer, it might actually be better for me. At the moment, I am using this as a night cream, but I'm almost, again, borderline not wanting to because it's just like straight away I'm greasy. And it's not like this is rubbing grease into my skin. It's like straight away this is making my skin go greasy. Like I have to produce oil because it's not absorbing into the skin. So I cannot wear this under makeup because it's like I can almost grab my fingernail and like scrape some of it off, which is what makes me think this doesn't soak in. So I am trying it as a night cream at the moment, but even then, if that doesn't work, I'm just not going to use it. So I have here the Sigma F80 brush, and it pains me so much to have it in this category, but at the moment I am severely disappointed in this. Please tell me this is one of those brushes that will just get better and better the more I wash it and the more I use it. I have used this with about 5 or 6 different foundations, and every time I've had to go get my sponge and either apply more or I've had to go and smooth it out with my sponge. I cannot apply my foundation with this. I have wanted this brush for years, and now it is such a disappointment because it's pretty much like, okay, the handle and that is better quality, but other than that, it's doing the exact same things that my $3 brushes did. And that is so disappointing. I paid like $35 for this, and I've been wanting it since I was like 14, 15, and there's a few times I've gone to get it, it's been sold out. I've been waiting for this for years. And I washed it before I used it, and like every time I put a foundation on with this, and I've tried some of my foundations that I prefer with a brush, or some that are okay with a brush. I mean, my Maybelline Matte and Poreless will never work with a brush on my skin, but there's things like the Makeup Revolution one, I can use a sponge or a brush, doesn't matter. I just typically use a sponge because I blend my concealer in with a sponge, so it's like, might as well do both. But sometimes I want to be able to use a brush because sometimes my skin's going to be so oily that I don't need the moisture from a brush. This streaks my foundations so much. It does not blend any foundation over my nose. I get this big red patch like right here, or it looks like a red patch because my skin's red underneath, but I get this patch like right here where it'll just streak and it'll just smear my foundation around, but it won't let my foundation cling to my nose. Like that's the thing, it won't let my foundation cling to my nose. I get streak marks, my foundations look so much heavier, and yes, I have washed my brush in between. I've even got it and like rubbed it on a bit of a washcloth to like wash and wipe some of the foundation off it. I've tried using it when my brush is like this where it's filthy. I, at the moment, am very disappointed because it is not working properly on me. Now, I understand, yes, this brush may not be the brush for my skin, but I haven't heard someone say they don't like it. Maybe with the foundations I use, I should have got the F82, I think it is, the round top. Maybe I'm just using the wrong shape. I don't know, but foundation clings to this brush so bad, and at the moment I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. And I am hoping and praying that this is one of those brushes that just gets better and better. The longer I have it, the more I use it, the more I wash it. Because other than that, I'm almost going to cry because I spent $35 on this thing. Cannot get a refund on it now. And, you know, it's just sad. Last thing are these Ivory, I don't know how to pronounce that, magnesium bath flakes. I hope you can see that. So I take a magnesium supplement every night. It's a magnesium and calcium supplement, and I don't know if you guys know, but yep, I've broken my foot 3 times. 2 of those times I have torn the muscles and everything. I have problems with the muscles and bones in my arms. I have the early onset osteoporosis. I struggle a lot with like cramps and spasms. So I bought these flakes because of all the problems that I have in my body with muscle spasms and cramps and just pain, and I thought, you know, they can't hurt. So I take a magnesium supplement every night, so I thought, well, I take that as well. You know, these can't hurt. And I've heard so many people say that that magnesium flakes are great. So these ones say, use in a warm bath to relax and unwind after a long day. Soaking in magnesium bath flakes helps to relax muscles, improve your sleep, draw toxins from your body. It is excellent to use before bed, which is only when I've used it. yeah, it helps to relax muscles, improve sleep, relieve tired, aching joints, and to soothe away the day's stress. Now these have absolutely 0 scent, so if you were using a scented shower gel, a bubble bath, bath bomb or anything, then these are great to use because they literally have no scent. I thought they might even smell a bit salty or something, but I've opened the bag and smelt it and it literally just smells like nothing. So I will try and show you, but that is what they look like. So they just look like these big chunky, they look like these big chunky white flakes. It says to put half a cup. Now the cap that comes on my shaving gel is pretty much half a cup, so I just put 1 scoop of those in my bath. Now I've used this like 15 times and I don't know if it's just the placebo effect or if it actually does something. I genuinely don't know if these actually do anything or if I'm imagining it. It might be the first night I used it, I slept like a baby. I thought it was amazing. And then the second and third time I used it, it gradually got like the effect got less and less. And so I was like, I don't know if it was just the placebo effect or if I was so hopeful that they would be great or what. But I swear these don't do anything. Now I bought these before Christmas, so I've been trying these for well over a month now. And I just don't know. I swear they don't do anything. Now I haven't used these in about a week and I don't feel any different. I do think these really help to draw the toxins from your body. I do think they are excellent at that. But really, in terms of the relaxing muscles and helping things like that, I don't know if adding those to a hot bath does anything extra than what just a hot bath does to me. Personally, for me, when I'm in a lot of pain, even when it is my body problems playing up, the best thing for me is a hot bath. I don't know, again, if that's just because I was always raised having baths and everything, but even heat packs, sometimes even painkillers don't work as well as having a hot bath, and so I thought adding those to the bath would be great, but I swear they don't do anything. I've written down notes and taken documentation of like how I felt before, how I felt after, and I swear they don't do anything. So that was my video. I need to get up and walk around now. My legs are going numb, but the products I mentioned will be listed in the description box down below. If you guys would like a tutorial on the makeup I'm wearing, please let me know. Didn't actually film it because today's like 42 degrees. It is so hot. It's cooled down a little bit right now. But yeah, so products I use will be in the description box down below, as well as the subscribe button down there. So go hit that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!